Hello. Hello. Here we are with Erotic Spirit Podcast and Spirit Guides After Dark, channeling your soul, erotic questions. And my name is Jenna Lee.
And I am Angela Shelby.
Yeah, come on in tonight.
Come on in.
This is for people who are like, I see we're going live on the actual channels, but no one's coming yet. So we're like, people come in later. We're ready for you.
Right now we were talking to ourselves.
And if people like watch this from the beginning, you just see us being a little silly. That's just us. Hey.
Yeah. We're not having fun, seriously.
Oh yeah, you gotta have some fun. You gotta just bring in the love and the light and all that is.
Yes, above all else, just enjoying, having fun. We were just talking today. Life is too short to be this serious. Like gotta have fun, gotta lighten up. We take ourselves way too seriously. I swear, I'm getting younger as I get older. I feel like I popped out as an 80-year-old in a little body. And like this little old woman is becoming younger the older I get. For sure. It's like, just gotta lighten up.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. This is like the fountain of youth that people are like, how do I look younger? Lighten the F up.
Smile, lighten up. It is not in Botox.
Yeah. Yeah. Like actually I will say since I started doing this work, I mean, I know I'm not old and no one is old, but I noticed my like skin was changing after I started doing the energy work, and it's like, okay, like, I'm cool with that. So
My body's definitely changing. That's an ongoing thing. When my body's hurt though, it's giving me messages.
yeah.
For example, oh, go ahead. You were going to say something. What were you going to
No,
say?
yes.
Yes. Yeah. I hurt my foot. I stepped on a dog bone in the dark. I need a better story, but it's the truth. Hurt my foot really bad, and it turned into like plantar fasciitis. It's like it wouldn't heal. It took
Oh.
over 18 months to heal, and it's funny. There are certain things with this work, like channeling like this and going into the podcast like this, that I was hesitant about, and getting comfortable speaking in front of people, speaking through a microphone, doing this stuff. When I tackled that more and I've really settled into it, my foot is pretty much totally healed.
Yeah.
So it's funny how it like slowly healed as I slowly stepped more publicly with all of this stuff.
Stepped.
Stepped.
I like how you say that. Yes, stepped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, I've noticed like my ankles being stronger now, but like I'll see like I could get some sort of foot something, and it's like that. It's that stepping forward, right? Like into whatever it is that you know that you're not. So I love that. It's all energetic principles. So.
And okay, so more specifically about doing spiritual work in the sexuality realm and being public with it and talking with it. I've had problems in my left knee, which is the feminine side, it's been a few years now. And it just popped out. It came out of nowhere. Like I was riding my bike and healthy exercising. And they said, well, your kneecap is out of joint. It's moved off to the side and da. So I did physical therapy and it was getting better, and had to stop physical therapy because it's friggin' expensive and takes a lot of time. And in the end, stepping into this work, all of a sudden my knee's better. It wasn't physical stuff. It was all, I just really realized that today. I took up running again, and I'm like, I can run, I can jog. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And it hit me. My knee doesn't hurt anymore, like at all.
Yeah, how that works. So
yes, I went, okay. And it's not my weight. It's not any particular exercises I'm doing. It just got better. So
Yes. I love it. I love it. And like as people are tuning in, we are talking about energy and like our belief systems and our actions. Like when everything is aligned all in our truth instead of like the false perceptions or whatever that is. When we're aligned, things in our body feel better. They
yeah,
sometimes go away. My back, I had stuff with my back, and all of that went away when I started doing the energy work and clearing out beliefs. And I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, but yeah, welcome. Oh, so we have here someone commenting, what's the connection with the left knee?
so the connection with the left knee, I since it's the feminine side, the left side, for me, it's being more comfortable with my sexuality, comfortable enough that I'm talking to people online about it. And then the knees and the legs and the feet, the knees can be about flexibility and being more flexible, which I have to say that has been a requirement to do this because the goddess energy that fuels this project is not linear. And we were warned ahead of time. This is going to be a meandering path. The timing's going to be weird. Just roll with it. But for me, it was knees, legs, feet is also about stepping forward and stepping into my power and not being afraid, not being afraid to do what I feel passionate about. And I was afraid. So now I'm, making my way. I'm talking to you. I'm really, really happy to be here and happy
Yeah.
that you're with us tonight. So thank you for asking.
Yeah. And it's different for like everyone, right? Like
Mhm.
everyone is got like right, it's like what is it that we're not flexible with, and it's all personal there. So these are kind of like tools in our life to kind of like it's like take back like what it like just yeah, where does it come from? The feminine side is a lot of flow, intuition, receiving, like nurturing, caring, and it can even be like stuff connected to like even like at least what I hear coming through could be like ancestral stuff within like that lineage, within like that feminine lineage there. So that at least that's what I'm hearing. So yeah,
For
very
me,
cool.
also, it's not about nurturing so much other people or doing that for others. It's doing it for myself. It's being willing to nurture myself as much as I'm nurturing everybody else. So the divine feminine is also about silence and being still. And we do not allow that to ourselves very often, especially in our Western society. It's me taking time for myself and holding still and even cutting back on my business, like making myself my priority. It's interesting how many body things are just kind of resolving themselves.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hugely.
the being is important.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I love it. I love you. I love it. I love all you guys coming in here. And I
It
was just
says,
kind of,
it says, lately when I feel a twitch, I say return. What do you mean by that? I'm interested. I think I know what it means, but if you could elaborate, I would appreciate it.
yeah. I don't see anything yet. I'll post it up. But as we are waiting for you to kind of respond there, as people are coming in here, rewatching this later. So Angela and I are will be channeling tonight on your erotic soul questions. So we have something rolling at the bottom there. Anything on intimacy, sex, pleasure, spiritual connection, whatever is on your heart, we're here to help answer that and really just kind of create this container where we're opening up for people to just be seen, be heard, be understood. And some questions, If you feel like they're far out there to ask, they're never too far out to ask, and we're ready for them. So feel free to drop in any questions you have there, and we'll kind of attune to that, and we'll start to kind of create. I just see a space coming in, so I don't know if you have anything you want to add in.
Yeah. So if you, as you can see, questions come up, everybody can see your question, and we're going to talk about it in front of everybody. If you have questions that you would like to put through anonymously, we're still going to talk about it in front of everybody, but your name won't be on it. To do that, go to the Erotic Spirit Podcast website. And then at the top of the page, you'll see it says Spirit Guides After Dark. Click on that. You can enter in your question and we will address it anonymously here at hopefully the next time. If we have a ton of questions, we put them in the queue and we just go through them.
We're here for it. And we do have one queued up there, so we will do that.
Okay.
And then I just feel us settling in for the evening here, just seeing the space open up here. We've been seeing actually a lot of angelics come in and kind of just set loving angelic presence around they're showing corners in my eye, but it's a dimensional space. And just allow yourself to kind of relax inwards here into your heart. Take a breath too. If you're here, take that breath in, breathe out. And when you breathe out, just soften your body and recognize any tension in that body. And if you're open to receiving today, that could just be receiving any energy coming through, anything there. Just send a telepathic yes at your free will, and we'll start to move into the evening. I don't know if you have anything you want to add there.
No, spirit guides are already coming in though. This is a team event. This is not just us talking. All of your people are here. If you have questions, they are popping in. So somebody's already popped in.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I have here just to kind of like wrap up this piece here. And I actually know what you're saying. You're just like,
Yeah.
and so it is. You're like
Yeah.
basically claiming it. So I love that. Yeah. Yeah. And that like when you really believe that, like stuff, that's all it is. It's really where your mindsets are. So that's really powerful. I love that. Okay. And then I have that question from last week, and that someone had sent in anonymously.
Oh, good.
So, yeah. So we'll start off there. And like I said, feel free to drop your questions in. Hit the like button on the live, guys. Share it out. Hit that like button so we share the love with anyone who's supposed to be here tonight. And are you ready, Angela?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the question is, when you pour into your cup, is it the same energy as sexual energy? It moves through like breath with energy flowing, like a vessel and spirit making love. I just notice that's what I receive in return when I pour into self, if that's normal. So I can repeat that again. When you pour into your cup, is it the same energy as sexual energy? Moves through.
I would say yes. I think, yeah, I would say yes, but I don't know. Let's ask.
I'm getting something coming here.
You go.
So, what's coming in here is about sexual energy being energy. Now, maybe even I say it like that, and I say sexual energy just like to distinguish that this is like that eros, that arousal, that energy building, that potentially even that kundalini energy that's rising. And that's kind of the words and the terms that I use, but it is not separate. That energy is connected to all that is, and all that is connected to it and us. And so, with no separation, then once we pour into our cup, when we're pouring into our cup with love and care and all the juices, whatever lights us up, whatever it is, joy, that flowing in flows into who we are, and that's who we are as an essence, and who we are, where our boundaries are open or where they're closed, and that flows into our connection into that sexual energy, because it is all one. It is just a recognition. That sexual energy is just a recognition of where that energy is being channeled, and how it is being channeled, and for what it's being channeled for. So yeah, it is a it's all merged. Yeah. Okay.
So the information I have coming through is that sexual energy is a human concept. Down here, things are divided from one thing into two things, like up and down, black and white, evil and good, left and right, male and female. All of these things, dividing things into either or things or to two sides of a coin, is a human concept. Sexuality exists because humanity has to have that concept, because humanity has to reproduce itself. So the energy that is creation, that is creative energy, that is the stuff the universe is made of, is funneled down into the creative capacity that is human sexuality. It's a tiny branch off the mainstream, but it is all the same energy. It's just being specialized for something specific. But you're 110% correct. It is all the same bliss. It is all the same energy. It's just how we choose to use it.
I love that.
Oh, they were trying to so they were, as they were delivering this concept to me, and this being or beings are coming through, they were trying to show me, I think, at the same time, because it was like being plugged into a socket. All of a sudden my breathing sped up and I'm like, I get it. I get it. I understand. I feel it. I feel you now. I'm like, okay, that's really cool.
I love it. And so that was, hopefully that helps with the anonymous question. And then we just have a couple comments to that. So thank you for the participation here. No thought, but just wanting to pour into self. Yeah, if one just wants to pour into oneself, what I am perceiving as this is I'm doing all the things to love on myself. And then I see the next, it's a couple of strands of comments here that it just comes out like sexual breath energy. And I know, Angela, you had said that you had some breathing coming in, so it feels like really connected to this question. And for me, when I breathe, and I'm just tuned into my body and just joy, I can feel that sexual energy, that arousal, that Kundalini wave moving through, and then it's just this cycle of breathing that love back in. So if I feel in love and joy and bliss, things just flow. I could feel in that life force energy, that creative energy, that sexual energy. If I wanted to, I could feel into that 24/7, and I can feel that energy and feel bliss just moving throughout me 24/7. And so, if you fill your cup up with that love, you can just plug into it. I see a comment here. You can basically just plug into it. Yeah. Yeah.
So I tuned into your guides, and your guides are showing me a picture of you with the energy pouring through you, and like you're a stained glass window with all of these little different panes of color in the window. And one of those panes is like your sexual side of self. And so when you pour all that energy in and it shines through all of those different parts of who you are, some of it comes through that sexual side too. And it just shines through because it's such a part of you.
Love it. It's a really beautiful question. Like just being able to to really just tap into it at just an instance. And that's the awareness that I really love this question. This is the awareness once you start to tune into life force and all that is, and that universal energy, like you could just plug in and like just be charged, right? Then and just you channel that energy in however we want to channel it. So yeah, there's no stopping that plug. I have like there's like hours and hours or days that I'll just be like I just feel in bliss. And then I do sometimes need to ground a little bit. But yeah, it's just like plug in. So I love it. This is like beautiful question. Love that. Beautiful. Awesome.
I also love how it comes through for people in different ways. It's going to come through you unlike it comes through anybody else. Again, it's like you're that stained glass window and nobody's window is going to be exactly like yours. So when you pull that energy in and pour it through yourself and pour into yourself, I love how you say that. That's a beautiful way to look at it. When you pour into yourself, it's going to shine out of you in your own special way. And sexually, when it pours through Jenna sexually different than it pours through me. It's just different for each person. And I love how unique that is. That was the whole point of this. I love how unique it is. I love how it's different for each and every single person.
Yeah. I love it. Oh man, such a beautiful question. Awesome. So as we continue on here, guys, as you come in, if you're like tuned into the channel, if you're not, come follow us, hit that like button. And I got another question queued up here if you are ready. And so let me pop it up here. Okay. So what is the difference between sexual desire and trauma-driven attachment?
What is the difference between sexual desire and trauma-driven attachment? So the first thing that's coming through is one is based in fear and one is based in love. One is based in trauma and one is based in one's authentic self. The question to ask yourself is, why are you doing what you do? When you're in that moment, ask yourself, why am I feeling desire for this person? Is it because I'm anxious and I want to make sure they stay with me? Am I giving myself to this person because I want to seal them to me so that I'll never be alone? Or am I doing it out of love? Am I doing it out of a sense of joy? Am I doing it out of a sense of great capacity for love and enjoyment? It's all about what motivates you, or what questions to ask yourself to see what is motivating you in that moment. It's all about the motivation and the intention behind it. And one will make you feel honored in yourself. One will feel comfortable to you. One will make you feel more secure. And that is your authentic desire. When you are doing it out of trauma-driven attachment, it doesn't matter how much you do it or how far you go or how much of time or energy that person gives you or how much time and energy you give to them in any capacity. it will never feel like it's enough because you will always be afraid. You will always be afraid they're going to leave you. You will always be afraid that they will not meet your needs. So one will fill you up and one will always leave you feeling anxious and empty. We hope that makes sense to you. Do you have any further details about it?
That was a question that we drummed up. So there's nothing else there.
All right.
Yeah. I was definitely riding that wave on everything that came out, and the intention and all of that there is all what's really behind, right? Like the huge difference there. And now what was prompting in was kind of giving like an example. For example, right, behind motivation could be, and it could be unconscious. So how do we back into that, right? And how do we start to see that how we're moving and what our actions are? Maybe we're asking ourselves, where is this coming from? And we still feel like it is a true intention, right? So just looking at an example, I'll just kind of give a personal example of mine where a relationship had ended at one point, and I felt this rejection that kind of came in. And so I had these, you can say, the sexual desire coming up, or what I thought was sexual desire. And what it was just kind of this feeling of abandonment, and like wanting to fill that hole and void with what I was, I guess you can like say, subconsciously taught might be intimacy. And so when I just slow down, and what is coming into is to ask yourself to just slow down in your steps. Because when we're driven by the unconscious or subconscious mind, we just act, right? It's act and react. So when we slow down and pause, how do we feel in the body? Do we feel good? And we start to ask those questions, then we can tell a difference when something is coming from feeling whole and filled up, or feeling like we're putting something in the void so that we feel whole. And how we feel about it when we walk out of the interaction. Do we feel good? Do we feel like we feel love, and it feels sacred, and it feels like us and what we want? So just being able to back out and see how our actions are, where they're coming from, and what's happening before the actions as well. So it was for me the rejection, and then not too long after, maybe a few days, a week, however that is, all these other pulls were coming up. And so in my awareness at some point, I said, okay, where is this coming from? Just slowing down and asking. And that is the beautiful part to it as well. So yeah, that's what I got for you.
There's nothing wrong with slowing down. I think that is the answer to about at least 90% of the stuff in my life. Slow down. If you're having a hard time, slow down. If you don't know what to do, slow down. If something just doesn't seem to be working, slow down. If it's like ramming your head into a wall, you're not getting anywhere, definitely stop and slow down. Tune in. Just feel myself in my body.
Yeah, I like that. When we slow down and we feel ourselves in our body, or when we slow down, we can realize when we're like just trying to rush and be like, what, where am I rushing to? Like it will probably be there, right? And if we're like, that's not going to be there when we slow down, then we have to decide, is it really for us? Like if we're just like chasing something that might just leave because we don't act on it now, is that in our highest interest or best interest, right? Because and I could just speak for myself and my own personal experience, is that like something loving or something like some connection there would be open to my pace. If my pace is like,
Yeah.
all right, I need a minute, I need I don't know, whatever that looks like, that loving reflection is going to be like, okay, and if not, we out.
Yeah, if they're not matching your pace, you're saying that like it's not for me then.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of
And so,
trying to match your pace to somebody else's, yeah.
yeah. And that's another, like, for that's coming in for a reason too, when we're looking at like sexual desire and like that, is it like that trauma attachment? And so, like, if I feel like if I don't act like that, I'll lose out and miss out on the chance, right? That's kind of, that's showing there shouldn't be any urgency, right? There should just be, I'm a human being, I'm sovereign, I feel good. And so that feels like a really important message, is just be like, all right, like, that, am I doing this to be seen? And if I don't do it, I feel that I won't be seen, right? And that's like driven through trauma, right?
I
Like
was
we
just going
don't,
to say, we just talked about trauma-driven attachment. That if I don't do this, they will go away. If I don't keep up, that's trauma-driven attachment.
yeah. And I actually feel like this is like a really good example. Even if you want to call it sexual desire or dating or connection, like if I don't do this, like, oh my gosh, like it's not, like I'm gonna just lose. And that's just the trauma talking, right? And if someone is not okay with that, like this, see you later.
Yeah, time to go.
See you later. Bye.
Hi, Michelle. Hello.
Yeah,
Thank you for tuning in.
put that up there. We got quite a bit people tuned in here. So as you're coming in here, love, just let us know. Drop in, let us know where you're tuning in from. Be like, where are you at? Are you in like, I'm in Arizona, but I'm interested to see, are people, what state, what country? Drop in, hit a like for us there, show us some love. We're channeling some questions here and having just having some fun with it. So, and then there's another comment here to kind of from before.
Is there a magic to breathe, not in meditation, but say in slow movements? Oh, is there a magic to breathe, but just in slow movements? I notice I can tap into a different side of the mind. Yeah, just by slowing your movements down. Oh, yes. And your breath, 110%. In fact, like when I've blown past my internal navigators and I realize I need to slow down, that's the first thing I do. Slow my movements down, slow my breathing down. It could be driving, I'll slow my driving down. It could be just whatever I'm doing, 110%, just to slow down. Any activity clicks me into a different state of mind. I wholeheartedly agree.
There's a nervous system, so I don't know which one is which. So maybe you know, but like when we take breaths, we can I don't want to say like reset, but like it just can just anchor us into the present moment. So I don't know the right terms, but like it's just like I learned this just through my journey with PTSD, that it's like getting into the present moment, right? And like our nervous system is kind of like, I'm going over here and over there, and the breath just allows us to, it just helps that nervous system. And the slow movements too is like, I like to always say mindfulness techniques. So what am I seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, smelling? And even like the feeling, right? Feeling into the body, like feeling all the slow movements. It's actually really good for for orgasms too. I don't know why that popped in my head, but it's just like you're like really getting into the body, and you're like really seeing what every ounce feels like, and now you're checked into some altered state, right? And which I like to say altered state, but I think it's like the true state. Like I think altered states they're just the true states. They're like all that we're connected into all that is. And And we're multidimensional beings. We have access to information that it's there. It's just what do we do to tune into it? So that's my spiel on the altered states.
Well, and the busier we are in the human world, the harder it is to hear. And the more we slow down in the human world, the easier it is to hear. And when I say hear, I mean like our inner selves, our spirit guides, the divine, whatever you want to call it. You have to slow down. You just have to. You have to be still. Otherwise, it just doesn't gel right.
I hear you. I hear you. Okay, are we ready? Ready for a new question? And if you guys, I know like people are just kind of watching over here, feel free to type in a question or just a reminder as you're coming in, you can tune into, or you can go to eroticspiritpodcast.com. I throw that up on the screen, and it's the Spirit Guides After Dark tab, and submit a question that's anonymous that if you want to ask, you can ask it and we'll put it in the queue for our future lives. So feel free to just tune in today and just kind of watch, see what we're doing and see if it floats your boat. So, where do we? I feel like a boundary question is
whatever question you're going to ask. There are like I can feel them queued up and ready. Like whatever.
Let's do it. How does honoring boundaries strengthen sexual energy rather than limit it?
Oh, well, I can tell you just personally, when someone respects my boundaries, it makes them hotter. Someone's respectful when I say no, and they're not like trying to edge their way in. This is the hard part too. Our culture teaches, especially men, to be unbelievably persistent. And if a woman says no, they're like, but if I push it, can I make her say yes? Can I seduce her into saying yes? What can I do? Does she really mean it? Does she really mean it now? What if it's tomorrow? Will she mean it? That's what we're taught. There's so many love stories that, oh, just be persistent, just push, 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 push. Not attractive. It's so not attractive. In fact, it's the exact opposite of attractive. Whatever boundary I set, if it's respected, that's just sexy. That is so sexy.
Like, let's rip the clothes off now.
Yes. It's like, oh, hello, you're respectful. I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you how sexy that is.
I know.
Right there, it strengthens my sexual energy when people respect my boundaries. I also think that it makes everybody feel safer when we know where the boundaries are. We know where it's secure for both partners, men and women. I mean, how is a guy or a partner can't talk. How are they supposed to know they're crossing a boundary or they're doing something that like makes me uncomfortable if I don't say this is where the boundary is? This is where it's at. And if I don't know where it is, if I am unclear about my boundaries, and then all of a sudden they skate across one that I didn't know I had, then all of a sudden the signals are wrong and my back is up and it's just anxiety. Got to have clear signals and clear communication, and boundaries don't have to be perfect. That's the other thing. They don't have to be perfect, but it's when you discover where one is at, even if it's in the moment, speak up about it. It's the only way to make it through. It's the only way to allow people to know where they stand with you.
I love that. Yeah, you're hitting all the points. So let's see if there's anything else that's coming in here. There's just like this layer, and I saw you touch on it too. It's like that safety, right? So when we look at intimacy, there's a lot of vulnerability, there's a lot of openness, there's a lot of like there's a lot of trauma around things. So especially if someone has had their like boundaries crossed sexually, or even just like earlier on in life where there were like no boundaries were taught, if there was like abuse or anything there, right? So this is something that can unconsciously, or when one starts to realize that their body feels off, right, that's that unsafe environment. So when we start to realize and do the healing work and say, okay, this is where I'm at, whatever that boundary is, if I say no, no means no. It doesn't mean, you kind of cutesy walk in and try to like finagle. It's that cultivates that ground, that base ground, and that foundation of which all of the rest of everything can open up. So hitting the heights of pleasure and hitting the heights of ecstasy and bliss can be channeled in quicker when that foundation is set. And so honoring the boundaries impacts the body and the ability for the system to feel safe and that I can open up. So that's what really, there's a lot of other things too, but just that additional piece and that layer there. Yeah. Yeah.
With so many experiences too, especially in like new age language, it's so many times we talk about setting the container. Setting the container, which means for whatever experience, whether it's a tantra temple or a meditation or a practice, psychic practice group or anything, a business meeting, you set the container, you set the parameters, whether it's the environment or the ritual around it. The boundaries are the container. So in that sexual energy and sexual experience, the boundaries of the people who are participating, that is the container. It's what holds the experience together and makes it what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Oof, I love that. And we have an episode on this, so feel free to check out. And I feel like, there's so much more to this question, and so many we spend a whole episode on it. Let's talk about boundaries, baby. So if you're interested, go check out that episode on Erotic Spirit Podcast on Apple, YouTube, Spotify, all the channels, and feel free to explore that a little bit more. There's so much more in depth that boundaries can go on like forever. And there's just so much to talk about with boundaries. I'm like, I like me some boundaries.
They are, and boundaries have been a dirty word for so long. Like, I'm setting a boundary. Boundaries are sexy. Boundaries let people know where the good lines are and where the stop lines are and where the crazy lines are and where the kinky lines are. And it's almost like, it reminds me of like drawing a picture before you color it in. You got to have the lines so you can fill in the colors. That's what boundaries are. They are the shape of the experience. They are that outline before you color it in. And yeah, watch the episode. They can be communicated in so many different ways, but boundaries don't have to mean denial. Boundaries set up the shape of the creation. Is the best way I can describe it. Boundaries are not a dirty word. And this is the other thing, where men have been taught to push, women have been taught to say no and not really mean it, or to say no when they mean yes, but they're supposed to play coy, or
Yeah. Oh, that's
so
enough.
It's not just guys, it's gals. This soft
Mhm.
no, or I'm not allowed to say yes. I'm a good girl. I have to say no. But I hope he really pushes because I really want to do this, but I'm not supposed to say yes. Like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that is
Yeah,
so,
kind of like the chase. Yeah.
yeah. And it's like there
Like
can be a
the
chase. There's nothing wrong with the chase, but the chase is more fun when you really lay out what the boundaries are. It's so much more exciting. I think it's so much more exciting uh, to be chased by someone who's strong. If I can throw down a boundary and somebody respects it, it's a strong person. And
Mhm.
I think I am respected more when I throw down a boundary and I hold my boundary despite pushing.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's safe to have a boundary.
Safe to have a boundary.
Yeah. And do you have, I have like, I'm hearing like example. Do you have like maybe like an example of something that's coming in for
An example of like
boundary
of a
that strength
boundary,
that strengthens sexual energy? Yeah.
a
Boundary.
boundary that strengthens sexual energy.
Yeah. Or just a
My
boundary.
own no, holding my own space. That can still be a challenge sometimes. And this is so funny. Oh, I'm sharing this experience. This is going to happen. Um,
Yeah.
so, my sexual energy can be a chase all on its own. And I was having an experience where I really like this person. I like them a lot. And I'm like, where's my sexual energy right now? It's like it went on hiatus. I'm like, did it go to a different continent? Where are you? What happened? And I sat down, I slowed down, I stopped, I got quiet with myself, and I put my hand on my heart. And this anger came up. And I was like, what is this about? And it was at myself. And the message that came through from my heart was if you will not hold boundaries around me, then how do you expect me to function? Like how do you expect me to feel safe and allow myself to be and relax if you will not even hold boundaries for
Yeah.
us, for myself? And I went, oh, where am I not holding my boundaries? And I sat down and I'm not holding my boundaries in a lot of ways. And especially when it comes to my own, not safety, but general sense of, what do I want to say? Pleasure, well being, joy. So that is probably one of my most personal examples. It's not just boundaries with other people. It's like boundaries within ourselves, at least boundaries within myself. Um, I grew up in a way where boundaries were very fluid. I have very poor boundaries growing up, at least for myself. So learning boundaries as an adult, and then going into a profession that rewards really crappy boundaries. I am a nurse in real life. Nurses can have some of the worst personal boundaries of anybody. And we're rewarded for it because we'll work harder, we'll work ourselves into the ground for you. And hospitals and employers love it. So, yeah, it's honoring those personal boundaries, and it can be hard. And for my personality, it can be really hard.
Mhm. I popped something up quick, but I wanted to pop this back open. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I love it. Yeah, boundaries are, I like the reframe. Boundaries are sexy. Boundaries are, they are. So we're bringing boundaries back. And I have here a couple people, and this may, I don't know if there was a delay, so my apologies if you're not on anymore, but just giving a shout out here. So love that, where people are kind of tuning in from. Love
Ooh, cool
it.
places.
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh, places. And we got some,
Wow.
I love it. No one that's messaged in is from where we are. So hello. Thank you for tuning into our podcast. And as you're like here, just to share with you, we will have new episodes coming up here in February, more like the middle to like third week of February. We had a little switcheroo with the studio and new energy, but we have our content ready for you guys. So definitely stay tuned for that. And if you haven't checked out, like if you're tuned into one episode, go check out Erotic Spirit Podcast and check out all the episodes and give us some feedback on anything you want to hear.
Yeah, even as we say it's our podcast, I swear I can feel spirit step up and be like, guess what? No filter. There's going to be no filter. So this is interesting. One of my biggest dreams was to channel about sex and sexual energy. So like Abraham Hicks channel, but about sex, because nobody does that. Nobody channels about that subject. And I was like, I want to do it. This is it. And now I have this opportunity and I'm like, holy cow, this is amazing. But I feel like spirit has like totally stepped up to the plate. And I'm getting like preview messages from spirit out of nowhere. And it will be like, I'm, puttering in the kitchen and they start coming in about the podcast. And one of the messages coming through is like, get ready to have no filter. There's no filter here. So the stuff that's going to come through, I don't know. Whew, shivers. I was going to say, I don't know if it's going to be shocking, and spirit's like, it's going to be shocking. They just said that right now, like, get ready. So I'm interested to see what spirit with no filter about sex is going to look like. The first podcast was very foundational, and we addressed a lot of foundational things.
Yeah.
This one is going to be different a little bit. I can already tell it's going to be different. There's going to be more channeling in it like this. They've been preparing me for that. That was one of those things I had a hard time stepping forward with. And then now it's happened with vengeance. And I know that's part of it, but oh my God, I am as tantalized and like just on the edge of my seat to see what comes through as everybody else is. But they just keep warning me, no filter. There's going to be no filter. And I think they're warning me and like giving me a heads up, like be comfortable saying uncomfortable things, or be comfortable saying shocking things, or really get ready to look at things in a different way than I normally do. And I think my boundaries are, what do I want to say, pretty flexible on my mind and pretty open when it comes to sex and spirituality and all that entails. But if they're warning me,
yeah. I love that. I love that. This is like a ride. If you guys have listened to the podcast, like Angela was saying, it's foundational, but there's so much on sexuality and so much on sexual trauma and so much out there that is just kind of shoved down our throats. And so having a platform where even I will say on these channels going live here, we're reaching out and we are channeling and talking. I can't tell you how many times I'll just say on TikTok, that we were kicked. It would kick us off. So being on Apple, Spotify, I mean, I can't speak for YouTube. I don't know yet, but like you have to even be careful what you share on Reels. And people will filter even like how they say the word so that it comes across. And this is the day and age that we are in. And when we can't, from an educational standpoint or even like a healing standpoint, say certain words because we're going to be kicked off platforms, that's the problem. That's the problem in stuff being shoved down our throats. Like this is taboo. Right? There's a difference in I guess to when some people on what their channels may represent, what they do. I can't speak for that, but this is a podcast connected to healing, and this is just information that we're receiving in from spirit and the universe that like we've done our work on, and there's more to come, but we've done our, I can speak for me. I know you've done a lot of work, but I've done a lot of work in this area and my sexual trauma. And so being that channel to just have it come through and be open, because there's so much in the space that it's like we're learning. It's like a kept secret because no one talks about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my soapbox.
Yeah. That I like your soapbox. You're right. If nothing else, I hope that what we do just generates conversation, whether just any conversation around sex and sexuality. It's talking about it that's important. It's being able to say sex and not have it be a dirty word. There's so many emails and, like you said, platforms. If you say sex, they think you're in the adult entertainment industry. Like that's what the algorithms and filters are. They think if you're saying the word sex, adult entertainment. Like, honestly, it's the stuff, it's how we create life, and we can't say sex. If it's a dirty word, it's just don't even, yeah, I could go on and on.
Soapbox.
I just can't. I just can't.
Yeah.
It's like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
And that we have
And
to
that's what
try and find ways around it because because there is this feeling of needing to protect. And we should not have to protect ourselves from sex and sexuality. It should not be something that we have to defend our children from and that we have to defend ourselves from. It's a part of who we are, and part of what we have turned it into needs to change, and how we look at it needs to change. It's not, we are the creators of our reality, and we have created the monster that we have made out of sexuality, and it's time to take it back.
Absolutely. Yeah. And be more like, when we do healing work on things, we become conscious of our actions that are motivated by trauma or things like that we talked about today, right? So if we bring light and like start talking about the taboo topic, making it normalized, right, then we can start to realize where we're unconscious in these areas. So I feel like this is one of the areas that like people come in all the time. We've talked about, like, clients will come in and they're asking about this, and like here's the root is like the sexual trauma. And obviously, like, I know why I get clients like that, and that makes sense. But there's a lot that's intersected here. And so we're breaking out, we're giving people the chance to see that we're seeing you guys. We want everyone to be heard, understood, and yeah, like learn ourselves. I'm ready to learn some new stuff.
Yeah, and just talk about it. There's so many things. Yeah. People don't come to me for sexual trauma. They come to me because their foot won't heal. They come to me because they feel blocked. They come to me for, they tell me other reasons, but so many times it boils down to, we're talking and this sexual trauma experience comes out, and I'm like, well, no kidding. Yes, I definitely think that's an issue. They'll be like, do you think that could be it? Yes, 110%. Yes.
Yeah.
It was Brene Brown. I was listening to one of her books, and I can't remember which one, but she said that in her studies that they discovered keeping silent about sexual trauma, keeping silent about the event, and not being able to talk about it or being shushed about it is more traumatic than the event. And then if it's your own people you trust and love telling you not to talk about it, oh my gosh, that goes up exponentially. So talk. This stuff survives because we don't talk about it. Got to talk.
Yeah.
One way or another.
Cycles move down because when our cycles in society and family, like when our nervous system is just out of it and we're like, we're not a safe space for loved ones to talk, like, or kids to talk to, like, they can tell. There's like your nervous system, the way that you act, like the words that we say, or like, right, you don't talk about that, but like, same time, I want to be here and be safe for you. The contradiction there is like breeding just this perpetual cycle. So we do our inner work, and we do our, that is what we can do. We can't control what happens to other people, but we can control being that safe space by feeling safe, by cultivating safety within, by loving ourselves, by healing ourselves. And then if something happens, right, that safe space is there for someone else. And that's all that we can do, because we can't control every incident out there, but we can be there so that instead of decades later, someone's like, I never had someone to talk to because I didn't have that initially. And it's a real thing. So creating space here. We have these lives that we're doing weekly here for you guys. So as you're tuning in, we're getting here towards the end. I want to bring up a couple things, but come join us weekly on Thursdays for Spirit Guides After Dark, where we're channeling your soul erotic questions. And so with that, I'd love to see if you want to bring anything up here. Yeah, we'll go to, do you have anything you want to add to kind of start to close out the evening here?
Sure. We both do private readings. As you can see, we're not afraid to talk about anything. So whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to bring up to ask your guides or your higher self, we're a good place to do it. We both do energy healing, very good at helping clear blocks and receive messages during those healings to help clear those blocks. And again, I just want to reiterate, safe space.
Mm-hmm.
So safe space to talk about any of this stuff. And I'm doing weekly channeled messages. It was daily channeled messages, but that's a lot. It's become weekly channeled messages of what the question I ask is what message does Spirit have for humanity for its highest good at this time? And then all sorts of beings come through. It's so fun. It's I want to say it's like enlightened being salad. You just don't know who you're going to get. Could be a dragon, could be Archangel Michael, could be an ascended master. You just don't know. Could be a Pleiadian. But it's always fun.
Put up your website too if you want to share that.
Yeah, my website. Thank you. It's www.angelashelby.com. So easy to find. Come visit me. Tons of information about stuff on that website too. It's a good place to come and learn about stuff, especially dreams. I'm passionate about dreams, so.
Yay, more to come there. And feel free to visit my website there, myawakeningwithin.com. So Angela mentioned, we both do energy work. We approach it different ways. I work with the Akash. I do energy healing. I have some amazing online stuff coming up too, so feel free to tune into that. But the main thing I wanted to talk about is tomorrow, if you are available, I put it up on the screen, or you can go to my website under events. There's a free event that I have hosting, and it's connected to the Aquilorians that I work with, interdimensional beings, and it's a free live event. All you have to do is sign up to, and you get the replay. So if you go to my website and sign up for it, you get the access to that replay and you can see what it's about. But there's a lot of energy, a lot of understanding what's happening now. There's a lot of energy moving out there, and like, how do we be able to hold more light in our bodies? So feel free to check it out, learn more about that. And lastly, we have the, let me pull up here. Yeah, just feel free to go to our website for eroticspiritpodcast.com. And if you have a question, you want to ask it anonymously, feel free to put it in Spirit Guides After Dark and type your question, and we'll put it in the queue for a future live. So, yeah. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next week.
Yeah. See you next week.